Welcome back my YouTube channel Worth Old Coin Value, where we dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, uncovering their history and worth. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our deep dives into the fascinating world of numismatics. Today's topic is an absolute gem from South Africa. The coin 2 Rand 2002 coin ***. We're not just talking about a coin that you may have lying around in your collection or in a drawer. We're talking about a coin that could potentially be worth millions. That's right, millions of dollars. Before we dive into the value, let's take a step back and understand the history of this iconic coin. The 2 Rand 2002 was minted in South Africa as part of the country's official currency. South Africa's currency is known for being one of the most significant in Africa, and the rand itself has undergone many changes since its introduction in 1961. The 2 Rand coin was issued in various years. But what makes the 2002 version stand out? It was part of a series commemorating the country's democratic transition and the legacy of South Africa's first president, Nelson Mandela. The 2002 coin marked a significant moment in South African history when the country was moving forward after decades of apartheid. You can see that symbolized on the reverse side of the coin. Let's take a closer look at the design, which is not only beautiful but carries rich symbolism. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Nelson Mandela, South Africa's beloved leader. The legend Nelson Mandela is inscribed alongside it, honoring his role in the country's transition. On the reverse, you'll find a detailed depiction of the springbok, South Africa's national animal, symbolizing the country's strength and resilience. The springbok was an iconic figure for South Africa's cultural heritage in the sporting world, especially in rugby. The coin also includes the year of minting and the denomination, 2 Rand. The Rand sign and the design together make this coin a piece of both historical and numismatic significance. Now, the burning question: what makes this coin worth millions of dollars? It's not just a simple piece of currency. The 2 Rand 2002 holds immense value due to several factors: rarity, demand, and its cultural significance. In 2002, the coin was not meant to be rare or special. However, over time, rare varieties, especially with certain minting errors or unusual features, have been discovered. Among these, there's a special error variety that sets certain 2 Rand 2002 coins apart. Some of these coins were mistakenly minted with slight differences that make them extremely rare. For instance, there's a known case where the springbok image was misaligned, which means it doesn't align perfectly with the rest of the design. These error coins are incredibly sought after by collectors, who are willing to pay a premium for them. Let's talk numbers now. How much can you expect to get for a 2 Rand 2002 coin in mint condition, or even an error coin? Well, values can range from a few $100s for standard versions to millions of dollars for those with errors or unique attributes. For example, one of these rare error coins recently fetched over $4 million at auction. That's right, a single coin selling for millions. The demand for these rare coins continues to rise as collectors and investors see the potential for incredible returns. Okay, now that you know the value of these coins, let's talk about how you can identify and find them. First off, make sure your 2 Rand 2002 coin is in good condition. The better the condition, the more valuable it becomes. Check for any signs of wear, scratches, or tarnish. But here's where it gets interesting. If you find a coin with a misaligned springbok or any other minting flaw, you've struck gold. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check the alignment of the design. Look for imperfections in the springbok or any other anomalies. If you think you found a rare variety, it's best to take it to a professional appraiser to confirm its authenticity. So, there you have it. The 2 Rand 2002 South African coin isn't just a piece of currency, it's a treasure that could make you a millionaire. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector in history, today we're diving into one of South Africa's most interesting and valuable coins, the coin 5 cent coin for 1988 ***. You might be surprised to find out that this little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $45,500 today. That's right. This small piece of history, the coin 5 cent coin from South Africa, minted in 1988, may not look like much at first glance. It's a small, copper nickel coin with a weight of just around 2.8 grams and a diameter of 18.5 millimeters. But trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. If you flip it over, you'll find that it features the iconic protea flower, which represents the national symbol of South Africa, along with the year 1988 and the denomination 5 cents. On the obverse side, you'll see the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, one of the early settlers in South Africa. The coin has a rich history, dating back to the pre-apartheid era when it was used in daily transactions. While coins like these were once common, it's the rarity of certain variations and their unique historical significance that make them worth so much today. So, why is this small 5 cents coin worth a mind-blowing $45,500? Well, let's dive into the key factors that make this coin such a rare and valuable collector's item. First, rarity is the main reason for such a high value. Not all 1988 5 cents coins are worth that much, though. Only the 1988 proof coin, which was produced in limited numbers for collectors, is worth thousands. You see, the proof version of the coin was minted with special care. These coins have a mirror-like finish, unlike regular circulation coins, and were sold in limited quantities as part of the set. In fact, only 200 proof coins were minted in 1988, which makes them extremely rare. These proof coins were made for collectors, and over time, they become highly sought-after items. Most of them were sold when they were first released, but many were kept hidden away in private collections, which is why they're so hard to find today. The rarity of the 1988 proof 5 cent coin plays a massive role in its value. There's a huge demand for it, especially among South African coin collectors and international buyers who are looking to complete their collections. Now, let's take a step back and talk about the historical significance of this coin. 1988 was a pivotal year in South Africa's history. The country was deep into the apartheid era, and the political landscape was tense. The protea flower, depicted on the coin, symbolizes the resilience and beauty of South Africa's people. It became more than just a national symbol. It represented hope during one of the most difficult times in the country's history. Coins like the 5 cents from 1988 became a symbol of change as the nation slowly moved toward a new era. The coin holds not only monetary value, but also historical value, making it an even more prized item among collectors. All right, let's say you found a 1988 5 cents coin and you're wondering, how do I know if it's worth $45,500? Well, let me give you a few tips on how to identify a valuable coin. First off, check the condition. If your coin is in mint condition, it will have a sharp, mirror-like finish. The edges will be clean, and there shouldn't be any scratches or wear marks. The proof version should have that distinct mirror-like finish. Next, check for authenticity. Make sure it's not a fake. Fakes can sometimes look very similar, so always get a second opinion from a trusted coin expert or dealer if you're unsure. Coins with provenance, meaning they come with documentation of where they've been and how they were acquired, are more valuable to us. Oh, now you're probably wondering, how much could I actually sell this coin for if I have it? Well, a coin in mint condition or one with proof status could easily fetch anywhere between $45,000 to $50,000 at auction, depending on the demand at the time. Recent sales have shown that the 1988 proof 5 cents coin has been sold for high prices at major auctions. The exact value depends on the coin's condition, rarity, and demand at the time of sale. So, what do you think? Do you have a 5 cents coin from 1988 stashed away somewhere? If so, now's the time to take a good look at it and maybe get it graded by a professional. Coin collecting is not only a rewarding hobby, but also a great way to connect with history and invest in valuable pieces of art. Before you go, here are a few tips for anyone who's just starting in the world of coin collecting. 1. Research. Always know the history and rarity of the coins you own or want to buy. 2. Condition is key. The better the condition, the higher the value. 3. Get your coins graded. Professional grading helps determine the coin's value. This 1968 Charles Swart coin could be worth a staggering $78,400. Yes, you heard that right. Stay tuned as we break down the value, the rarity, and why this coin is so incredibly valuable. Before we get into the specifics of the 1968 2-cent coin, let's take a quick look at the history of South African coinage. South Africa has a rich numismatic tradition, with coins dating back to the 1800s. By the mid-1900s, South Africa had adopted the decimal currency system, and coins like the 2-cent became an essential part of everyday life. These coins were minted in a variety of metals, and some, like the 1968 Charles Swart 2 cents, are highly prized today due to their rarity and historical significance. Now, let's look at the design. The 1968 South African 2 cents coin features Charles Swart, who was the president of the Republic of South Africa from 1968 to 1975. His portrait is featured on the obverse side of the coin. On the reverse side, you'll find the image of a springbok, which has been a symbol of South Africa for decades. The springbok, a native antelope, represents the country's wildlife and national pride. These iconic designs make this coin not only valuable, but a beautiful representation of South African heritage. So, why is this 1968 Charles Swart 2 cents coin worth so much? The value of this coin has skyrocketed due to a few important factors. First off, rarity. While most of the 1968 coins were minted in large quantities, a limited number were struck with a key characteristic, the no mint mark variety. This is what sets certain 1968 2-cent coins apart. Most of the 1968 2-cent coins have a mint mark, but those that don't are extremely rare and highly coveted by collectors. The second reason for its value is its condition. Coins in mint condition, or as close to mint as possible, command the highest prices in the numismatic world. And there's a third factor, demand. The South African coin market has seen a steady increase in collectors wanting to get their hands on rare pieces like this one, driving the price even higher. Now, let's talk about how you can spot this valuable 1968 Charles Swart coin and potentially add it to your collection. First, check for the absence of a mint mark. The mint mark is usually located at the bottom of the coin, near the date. If it's missing, it's a sign that you may have found a rare variety. Next, examine the condition of the coin. Look for any scratches, dents, or discoloration. A well-preserved coin will be worth significantly more than one in poor condition. You might come across one in your change or at estate sales, but the real gold mine is in auction houses, specialized coin dealers, and online marketplaces like eBay. Just make sure to authenticate the coin before purchasing, especially if you're paying a premium for a piece like this now. Let's talk numbers. The value of this coin varies depending on its condition and rarity. If you manage to find the no mint mark variety in excellent condition, it can sell for upwards of $78,400, or even more if there's bidding competition. Coins with minor wear can fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, but it's the perfect, uncirculated coins that command top dollar. These coins have been sold at high-profile auctions around the world, fetching record-breaking amounts. Some collectors even argue that the value might continue to rise as the number of uncirculated coins dwindles, making this a great investment for numismatic enthusiasts. Now, if you're lucky enough to own rare coins like the 1968 2-cent Charles Swart coin, it's important to preserve them properly to maintain their value. Use high-quality coin holders, such as 2x2 holders, airtight capsules, or acid-free coin flips. Always handle your coins with clean, dry hands, and store them in a cool, dry place away from sunlight and humidity. Never clean your coins, as this can significantly decrease their value. To wrap up, the 1968 Charles Swart 2 cents coin is a remarkable piece of South African history. Today, we'll explore the rare 1965 10 cents coin from South Africa and why it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Let's start with a bit of history. The South African 10 cents coin was first issued in 1961 as part of the country's move to decimalize its currency. Before that, South Africa had been using the pound as its currency. Now, 1965 was an important year for South Africa as it was a period of significant political and economic changes in the country. Under the apartheid regime, the economy was shifting and new coins were being minted as part of the country's national identity. This 10-cent coin features the famous springbok antelope on the reverse side, which is an iconic symbol of South Africa. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of the then Prime Minister, Hendrik Verwoerd, who played a significant role in South Africa's apartheid system. Now, let's get into what makes this coin so rare and valuable. The 1965 South Africa 10-cent coin is particularly interesting because it was minted in very limited quantities. The standard 10-cent coins were produced in both copper, nickel, and silver, but the 1965 coin, specifically, is part of a very rare set. Most of the coins produced in this year are in relatively good condition, but a few key pieces are highly sought after by collectors for their scarcity and the year they were produced. What's crucial to understand here is the condition of the coin. Coin collectors and numismatists often refer to the rarity of a coin by its minting era, its historical significance, and its condition. A coin in mint state, meaning it's nearly perfect, will have a far higher value than one that's been heavily worn over the years. Now, you may be wondering, what makes this specific 1965 coin worth such an incredible amount of money? Well, it all comes down to a very rare variety of this coin that was accidentally minted with a unique error, a double die or a misstrike. This minting mistake resulted in coins that had a more prominent, clearer strike with extra features that weren't intended to be there. Because of this error, collectors are willing to pay a premium for any coin that features this anomaly. The 1965 10-cent coin with this double die or misstrike has been known to fetch bids of up to $2 million at auctions. You might think, how does a simple mistake make a coin worth so much? Well, in the world of numismatics, errors like these are highly sought after, especially when they're as rare as this. Collectors know that the rarer the error, the higher the value. In fact, this particular coin is considered to be one of the holy grail finds in South African numismatics. Only a handful of these coins with the error exist, which makes them exceptionally valuable. Now, let's talk about how you can identify whether you have a valuable coin on your hands. First off, examine the date. Look for a 1965 coin. Then, check the features of the coin closely. You want to look for any doubling in the numbers or the design, which could indicate a double die error. Sometimes, these errors can be subtle, so make sure you look carefully. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if you can. If you think you've found an error coin, your best bet is to have it professionally graded by a trusted numismatist or grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations can assess your coin and assign it a grade, which significantly impacts its value. Once you've identified a rare coin and have it professionally graded, you may want to sell it. The best place to start is through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or even eBay, where many rare coins are sold to the highest bidder. Another option is to sell it through specialized numismatic dealers or online forums dedicated to coin collectors. But remember, always be cautious and do your research. Only deal with trusted professionals to avoid scams. There you have it. The 1965 South African 10-cent coin. An artifact that could be worth millions of dollars due to a rare minting error. If you have one of these coins in your collection story in top 2, the coin rare 1992 South Africa 20-cent coin. And we're going to explore why it could fetch as much as $4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $4 million. So, if you have one of these coins lying around, you might want to stick around for the next 20 minutes as we uncover all the secrets of this remarkable piece of numismatic history. The 1992 20-cent coin is a key player in the story of South Africa's coinage history. Issued in the early 90s, South Africa was undergoing significant political and social changes, leading to the transition from apartheid to a more democratic system. The 20-cent coin itself features a striking design, showcasing a springbok, one of South Africa's most iconic animals. Known for its speed and agility, in 1992, a regular production of these coins took place. But what makes this particular year special isn't just the design. It's the incredibly rare misprints and limited mintage that happen behind the scenes. Now, what's crucial here is that while most of these coins are relatively common, a small portion of them were misstruck or had defects during the minting process. This is where things get interesting. There were several errors that occurred in 1992, including an extremely rare coin that went into circulation with a completely incorrect die, one that features the wrong inscription or a misaligned design. These coins are the ones collectors are hunting for. Imagine holding a coin that's worth more than just its face value of 20 cents. We're talking about a coin that could be worth $4 million. How does that happen? It's all about rarity, demand, and the mistake made during production. In 1992, a small batch of 20-cent coins was struck with an error that caused the coin to be misaligned or display incorrect markings. It's important to understand that error coins, particularly those from well-known mints like the South African Mint, are highly prized by collectors. And when a coin like this is discovered, its value can skyrocket. As you can see in this comparison, the misstruck coin looks very similar to the standard version at first glance. But upon closer inspection, the difference is unmistakable. These rare error coins are incredibly valuable because they're unique, and the story behind them makes them even more desirable to collectors. So, what exactly makes error coins so valuable? Well, when it comes to coins like the 1992 South Africa 20 cent, rarity is the key factor. The fewer the errors, the higher the demand among collectors. And when a coin is this rare, collectors go crazy for it. It's a mix of history, scarcity, and the thrill of owning something that not many people have. Error coins are typically graded by numismatists, experts who assess their authenticity, condition, and rarity. A coin with the right error in pristine condition could be worth a lot more than its face value. Now, $4 million might sound like an exaggeration, but there have been cases where specific misprinted coins have sold for astronomical amounts. Take, for instance, a famous 20-cent error coin that recently sold at auction for millions. This shows us that even a small minting mistake can lead to a huge payday. But of course, these types of error coins don't come around every day. Alright, so now you're probably wondering how you can spot a potential 1992 South Africa 20-cent coin error in your collection. The first step is to check for visual signs of misalignment or irregularities in the design. You're looking for things like doubled inscriptions, incorrect mint marks, or a misaligned die. If the coin looks off-center or has any unusual features, there's a good chance it might be an error coin. Take a look at this example. Notice how the image and text are slightly askew? That's an example of a misaligned die. This type of error could be one that increases the value of your coin. Also, you'll want to check the coin's mint mark and compare it to others from the same year. If something doesn't seem right, get it appraised by an expert. So, let's say you found a rare 1992 South Africa 20-cent error coin. What do you do next? First, get it appraised. There are plenty of online resources where you can find reputable numismatists who specialize in rare coins. And many auction houses around the world are known for selling high-value coins like this one. If you're lucky enough to have a coin that is worth millions. Make sure you have proper documentation, and consider selling it through a trusted auction site or a well-known dealer who specializes in high-end rare coins. So, to recap, the 1992 South Africa 20-cent coin is a treasure trove for collectors, especially if you happen to come across an error coin. With a little bit of luck and the right circumstances, you could be holding a coin worth millions. Remember to keep your eyes peeled for those rare mistakes, and make sure you have it checked out by a professional. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow collectors, and subscribe for more exciting coin discovery tips. Also, let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin yourself and what it's worth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next time.